Hey guys, welcome back to Gephi. I'm trapped in a box, but you can call me Mark. Today we are doing something a little special, looking at two channels. That's right, it's my first ever data double whammy. As often happens when I choose to do something new though, I unintentionally made it as difficult for myself as possible. Today we are looking at Bebopvox Yogscast and Yogscast Ridgedog, who I chose because they're both American, they make a Modded Madness series together, and I thought it might be fitting, because they're kind of a pair. Ridge was easy, he has only 16 guests in 4 years, but Bebop was another story. While Ridge was basically mainly an admin for the Yogs, helping them find content and maps to play for years, so he has basically few videos. Really, though I always make a point of watching them when I see them, he's one of the brilliant but sparse production styles, because he hasn't had a remotely boring video yet. Bebop, on the other hand, takes an opposite approach to YouTubing. Bebop is all about the branding and the networking, wielding his coined phrase, diamonds to you. Bebop became popular as the creator of the Minecraft Monday show, which was basically a news show about Minecraft updates, and interviews of other YouTubers, including Mojang itself. He focuses almost exclusively on Minecraft, as you can guess, and he has a few parody music videos even as well. Because his focus was less on gaming and more on the meta of gaming, he also has a second channel, which housed all of his Let's Plays. I only discovered this halfway through my look at his main channel, though, and that's where the bulk of his actual collaborations are, so I ended up collecting data from both the channels. In effect, I've looked at 3 channels for you this week. Anyway, enough background. Let's get started and look at 2011 for both channels. Now, before I do start, I want to let you know about how I've changed my node organization for these videos. Instead of running clockwise from most common guest to least common guest, instead now the closest nodes to Ridge or Bebop are the ones that appeared most often, and the farthest are the least common, appearing only once or so. The size also makes a difference, so the larger nodes appeared more often. Anyway, both of these guys had their channels around for a while, before they started in 2011. Ridge since 2008 and Bebop since 2006, but Bebop had only 1 guest and Ridge had only 3. Even in 2011, though, Ridge still only had 2 guests, while Bebop was already darting around and spreading his name, interviewing all sorts of different popular YouTubers, including Lewis and Simon. He didn't actually play any games with most of them, and even only had 4 or so actual gaming videos this year. His focus has always been mostly on his unique style, which he set up early and has stuck with since 2011. But still, look at how many people Bebop has already been able to get onto his videos. That's marketing right there. Let's head on to 2012. In 2012, Bebop creates his gaming YouTube channel, and you can see he has a couple more regular guests now, rather than just his previous MO of one-off interviews on his other channel. Still, he really steps up these interviews to another notch. It's really amazing to me how many major YouTubers there are, though I'm afraid some of these guys have probably stopped producing content since this period. Ridgedog, on the other hand, has a total of 2 videos in this year, 1 with a guest. So there you go, 2 totally different styles of YouTubing on one graph. Oh, and always, I should mention that these graphs will be available on an Imgur album, should be a link to that at the bottom of this video. And now, on to 2013. 2013, as with most YouTubers I've seen so far, actually was kind of a rest year. Bebop had a bit fewer interviews, though he did start a Minecraft series with verbal processing, and Ridge actually made some more videos, so they kind of hit a groove there and got into a pattern. It's really amazing to me how rarely Bebop's guests repeat. At least, I hope they don't. They may just be using different names. Gamer names don't really follow an easy followed grammatical standard, which makes my job just a little more difficult. For example, take Bebop. His channels are Bebopvox Yogscast and Bebopvox Gaming. But online he's referred to as Bebop or Bebopvox or I don't know. And offline he has a completely different name. Each of these is a potential way I can write down his name and record it, and then he'd be recorded as 2, 3, or even 4 people. Every one of my guests is like that. It makes it really interesting because there's no good way to document or refer to a person consistently. I'm more and more I'm thinking that YouTube should add a tag another YouTuber option to their videos. That's what I think, because there's so many different ways that people give credit to having their guests in their videos. Let's head on to last year and the main collaboration between these 2 channels. In 2014, Bebop and Ridgedog worked together in Modded Madness, a Minecraft series on Bebop's channel that also had verbal processing in it. Ridgedog also became an official content producer for the Yogscast, and Bebop actually joined the Yogscast officially, though you don't see it reflected really in his guests. In fact, it'll be interesting to add these guys to the overall graph because they've had a few guests in common with Strippin and Martin, though those two barely show up on their channels. Bebop's most recent video on his gaming channel was on December 29th of 2014. That channel could be dead because it's been 5 months since then, but time will tell. Let's look at the overview. Okay, Bebop smashes our previous record for greatest number of guests, reaching 113 between 2011 and 2014. Ridge is a bit more conservative, having a total of 16 guests, but good effort. I've noticed there are more or less two different roles for YouTubers so far. Either they are like Sips and Duncan, joining a group and restricting their guests to only people in that group from then on, or they're like Sjin and Martin, constantly networking and trying to reach as many different channels as possible. Bebop is definitely a networker, and I think Ridge is too, though his group is so small it's likely just people he really actually knows. Thursday we're going to be adding these guys to the larger network and seeing where they fit in. Till then, I'll see you next time.